First of all, you believe them, right? It's the same thing with domestic violence. The most important thing you can say to a victim is, I believe you. A rape victim, I believe you. General public's not trained to do that, not trained to be aware of things. And if they're not telling you, you don't know. And if they do tell you, how are you going to act? Generally, you're going to say, oh, you'll be fine, you know. I don't put up with misogynistic talk. I don't have friends that do it, but if it comes up and there's a joke or something, or you know, somebody's pointing out something about it, I'm just not cool with it. I would do the same if they were bullying a guy, for example. Yeah, so there's just no point in it.
I haven't really seen my father, I think, since I was 9 or 8. I think 9. But I haven't had any contact with him since then, and that's been my decision. And I think that's like Mary's place. I think that helped a lot because I knew it was my decision, and I kind of had control over that. My dad got arrested, and I think that was kind of a turning point because I said, wow, we got help, you know? Like, we actually got help. I think everybody should be respectful of anyone they love or care for. I think that should be one of your #1 priorities, is to be respectful, not just for your partner, but everyone around you too. And then honesty, I think, plays a very big role in relationships. If someone said, I have a conflict going on in my home, I'd probably say, I know exactly how you feel. I know what it's like not to really feel happy or safe in your own home. And if you want to talk about it, I'm here, but if you don't, I completely understand that it's personal. I don't want to get into your business, but if you do, if you trust me, we can definitely work this out, or at least try to.
My first memory was living with my grandparents, which were lovely people, taught us manners, morals, ethics. And then this lady came in, it was my mom. She had married this guy I didn't know. Not too long after moving in with her, he was beating on her right in front of me. We went from a solid, caring, loving household to chaos just overnight. My stepdad, he would come to my bedroom door every morning, slide it open, go, wake up, you piece of shit, we have things to do, right? Imagine hearing that every other day or every day. You tell somebody something enough times, they're gonna believe it. How it manifested with me was, I couldn't control my bowels. Then I would get in trouble for messing my pants. I think I was pretty close to 40 on a golf weekend down in Monterey, and I was in a hotel room waiting for my buddy to show up. We were gonna golf all weekend. Beautiful place, got a good job, everything's going for me, and I'm in that hotel room crying, right? Feeling sad, not sure why. But from that point, I realized that there's something wrong with me and I gotta figure out what it is. There's no reason I should be crying right now. And the crying, the feeling was sort of depression, sort of lost, sort of lonely, right? Even though I was surrounded by people most of the time. So, okay, how do I fix it? And so I just kind of did the work myself, and just by talking and having people affirm what you're saying or care about what you're saying, worked for me. And that was one of the things that I realized that counseling works, because it's kind of the same process.
When I was growing up, I grew up around all this violence and abuse and everything. I think the biggest problem would be that I thought it was normal.
No, okay, so
when we see domestic violence, it's not just the man or the woman, there's other victims like you and I have been.
Yeah.
So, and I'm happy to see you smart enough to be ahead of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. I hid my troubles through humor or acting out or a bunch of different ways.
I grew up in a country club world where men had wives and girlfriends, not or, and where the jokes were very misogynistic and angry. I didn't mind being the guy on the golf course, not the guy cleaning up the sand trap. I think it takes, at least it took for me, seeing the pain of those who had experienced the hurt of not being privileged, to realize that I didn't want it all that bad. That the comfort wasn't worth it.
We each need to become an advocate for something. So this is something I can do, something I'm trained to do, something I'll do.
The LGBTQI community needs the rest of us to help fight for them and with them. Women need men to fight for them and with them. Minorities need white people to fight for and with them. Finding the right avenue is really hard. I think that's why I've really been drawn to all the work I've done at Saving Grace in very different sort of avenues, is that there are people here that want to talk about those things, are ready to talk about those things, and we're going to have a lot of people involved. It's all about that snowball effect, because everybody else will jump on board.
I am a licensed professional counselor, registered intern. I'm going to work in partnership with Saving Grace. I've counseled groups, couples, batterers. You don't want to sit and have somebody cry, you know, but when they do cry or they break down, you're thinking, okay, they've put down their shield. Now we can get some stuff done. So yeah, that's when things start happening.
I love that Saving Grace is involved in that, because I think it's very forward thinking to see that as a way to impact the problem of violence against women. That let's get men's voices involved, and let's start to integrate those with female voices, and let's all talk about how we have a bigger impact nationwide, worldwide.
It's something I don't look back on. I guess I don't really want to blame my past on things I'll do in the future, but I do recognize that it was there and that it happened and everything, so that I can help other people if they need it.
I still think about things. I mean, just because you've done work doesn't mean that stuff disappears. But you can use that stuff for the positive. People like me can't save the world. We're not trying to, we're just trying to be one little piece of the puzzle. If we can help somebody else one at a time, pass them on to the next person that's going to help somebody transform their life.
There's something about being out on the water where it's so beautiful, and it's not totally safe. It's still water, right? Like, it still could drown us. There's something about big bodies of water that remind me how small I actually am and how big this world is, and that I'm small, but if I want to have the kind of impact I want to have to be big. And I have to not be afraid to be big. I've never thought about or said that way before, but